Okay, let's start with the component of the knowledge management. So you can see we have three components or three perspectives that overlap of the knowledge management. Okay, knowledge management. So this course we're gonna talk in this three parts or the three perspectives that we have. One is about people, because the people is belong the knowledge or experience. Okay, the component number two is about the process. Okay, the organizational process. Number three, that or the perspective, that is the perspective of the knowledge management, is a technology. Three perspectives that we're gonna talk in this class. Okay, so let's start with an introduction to the knowledge management. For the part one, okay, we're gonna talk about the knowledge definition, and then we're gonna talk about the management definition. And when we combine the knowledge and management together, gonna be the knowledge management definition. And we're gonna summarize about the timeline of the knowledge management. And then we're gonna talk why the knowledge management is important. Okay, why it's important. So the objective for the part one of the introduction to the knowledge management, to let you understand about what is the knowledge management is. Okay, let you understand about the importance of the knowledge management. Okay, so let's start. This person is Nonaga. Okay, Nonaga, he is like who invent the term of the knowledge management. He said that in an economy where the only certainty is uncertainty, it means that uncertainty is certainty. So the one that we can make sure about the resource of lasting competition is knowledge. So it means that the powerful weapon in this economy era is a knowledge, right? To have the advantage competitiveness. Okay, so let's start with what is the knowledge. What is the knowledge? So this is the individual assignment. Okay, please do only one or individual assignment. Just give the example of your own knowledge on any topic, okay? Might be about the shopping, about a sport, or might be about the food, any topic. And then when we are in the class together, we're gonna share, okay? But please plan the answer in Word or PowerPoint, any platform. No deadline, not now, it's no deadline. Okay, but I'm gonna create a folder for the assignment for you to upload. Okay, this assignment, no deadline yet. Okay, I'm not gonna set the deadline for you, but just do, and then prepare the file. Okay, and then when I post the assignment, you can upload and then gonna see the deadline. Okay, what is your example of the knowledge in any topic? Okay, so let's begin with how do we explain about the knowledge. Okay, about the knowledge. Okay, how the knowledge about how to ride a motorcycle or a bicycle. What do you think? How? So maybe you start to balance first, right? Practice to balance. And then when you do the motorcycle, let's start the engine, right? And then try to make slow ride with the balance, okay? But for the bicycle, you might be balanced and then try to kick a pedal, right? And hold a hand, okay? Hold a hand, for example. This kind of the experience on the motorcycle or a bicycle. So how about the knowledge of how to swim? How to swim. Start with try to float, right? Float in the water. When you're in the water, okay? Okay? Or try to hold your breath. Hold your breath, right? And maybe practice to swing hands, right? And swing your feet, right? For example, that help you to swim, okay? Okay? How to create the website. What is the knowledge how to create the website? First, you have to study, know about code language, right? And then you try to do a coding and get the result, okay? Know about UX and UI, for example, right? It's about the create the website, okay? You may use the open source, you may try your own coding. It's up to how knowledge that you have, okay? How to produce the online game, okay? You might decide about the story telling first and then design a game as a level, right? And then you might do a programming to produce the game and then test, okay? Test that try to play. So this is about the knowledge, for example, of the knowledge, right? How when you explain of each activity, okay? So, and then what is the exactly definition of the knowledge? What is the definition of the knowledge? So, the knowledge is the insight, the people, that the people understandings, okay? The people practical know-how, okay? Act how to do, okay? That we post has been passed and use the resource that you have and act intelligently, okay? Is about the first definition of the knowledge. The second is subjective way of knowing, okay? Of knowing that about the knowing people, okay? Typically based on the experientials or individual value. It's about the perception of people or individual. And it's about the experiences, okay? Experience. So you can see that the knowledge is about show some acting, use the knowledge and act and become the experience and can create the value, okay? But another definition based on the ISO 30401, this ISO said that the knowledge is about the human or the organizational asset, okay, that can be enabling, effective for the people to make decisions, to act in any context, okay? It's based on the human assets or organizational assets, but help the people to make decisions or to act, okay? The knowledge can be individual, collective, or organization. Can be for individual, one by one, or as a group, or collective, or organization. The knowledge is acquired, okay, is acquired or is created, okay, can be created through learning or experiences, okay? This is a definition in ISO 30401. So let's continue to the types of the knowledge, okay? You can see the iceberg, okay, the iceberg, okay, above and under the sea, okay? So for above the sea, we call explicit knowledge. It means that you can see by your eyes, right? You can touch, okay? You can see by your eye, you can touch. But under the sea level, we call a tacit knowledge, that untouched. You cannot touch, right? You cannot see with your eyes, okay? And you can see the ratio or amount. Under the sea is more about than the above the sea. So based on the theory, under the sea is tacit knowledge is 80%. Above the sea level is 20%, that is an explicit knowledge. So the explicit knowledge that you can touch and you can see by your eyes, the feature of the explicit knowledge is a relational knowledge, okay, can be comply and rely in many forms. For example, in the book, the explicit knowledge is in the book. The explicit knowledge can be in the form of manual, documents, report, or any form that you can access. Okay? Okay? Opposite from under the sea is a tacit knowledge. A tacit knowledge is a collection of the knowledge from learning, from experiences, or from talent. That hard to communicate. Okay? Hard to communicate. That's why it's still too much percent. This is the reasons why the tacit knowledge that has more percentage than explicit knowledge, because it's hard to communication. It's still inside the human mind. Okay? So this is the individual assignment number 2. Please explain, okay, give example of your own tacit knowledge and your own explicit knowledge. And then I'm gonna create a folder for you to upload your activity into the Mango. Don't forget to sign your ID and the assignment number. Okay, you can write on the Word or PowerPoint. Okay, no deadline yet. Okay, no deadline, but I'm gonna set to the Mango canvas. Okay, let's continue with where is the knowledge come from. Where is the knowledge come from? You can see the word data. Okay, this is gonna be start. Okay, the data is about fact. The data can transform to be the information by analyze. Okay, the information can transform to be the knowledge by act. The knowledge can be transformed to be the wisdom by apply. So let's see the example, okay, of planning for an evening movie. So I'm gonna show about which one is the data, which one is the information, or which one is the knowledge. Start number 1, I can't leave before 5. So I will go to the 7 p.m. show at the cinema near my office. Okay. Number 2, movie listing giving the times and locations of all movie being shown today. I download the listing. Number 3, at that time of day, it will be impossible to find parking. I remember that the last time I took the car, I was so frustrated and stressed because I thought I would miss the opening credit. I will therefore take a commuter train, but first I will check with John. I usually love all the movie he hate, that different movie, right? So I want to make sure it's worth seeing. So this is an example of the data, information, or knowledge. So we can identify which one is the data, which one is the knowledge. Let's start, okay? So the data is a fact, right? A fact. It means that a movie list, a time, a location, all the movies. Okay, this is a fact. This is the data. So what is the information? The information is about content. Analyze the data. Okay, I can't leave before 5. Okay, I can't leave before 5. Okay, he or she knows the working time. So I will go the 7 p.m. show at cinema near my office. He or she knows movie show time from the list. Okay, the knowledge is the information that has undergone the processes of thinking, comparing, linking with other knowledge or other experiences of the people. At that time of day, I will be impossible to find parking. I remember that last time that means already passed, undergone, right? I took the car. I was so frustrated and stressed because I thought I would miss the opening credit. I therefore take a commute train, but first I will check with John. I usually love all the movie that he hates, so I want to make sure it's worth to see. So it means that from he or she experience, right, at the last time, now he make decision to take a commuter train and check the list first and check a John first that they can watch the movie that they love together. For the wisdom, it means can apply from the knowledge, okay, to do other activity. For example, apply to go to entertainment events, apply to go to hang out, apply to go to work outside company. Is about apply, okay, and still be give the value and still be uses. Okay, so let's see the definition. The data is about fact, okay, raw data, and then when you analyze, okay, gonna to be transform to be the information, okay, is about information is about analyze the data, synthesize the data, measurable the data, used for make decision something, and then the information become the knowledge that you can call the information in action that already passed by thinking, comparing, linking with other knowledge. Use that experience to make a good decision at any time. A wisdom, knowledge embedded in humans, okay, from apply to other activity or other situation. Use that experience to create a new thing, have some more productivity, create some advantages, okay. So this is about a pair activity. Do two students together, same, two students, you can have the same answer, but please, every student must upload, okay, the assignment, okay. Put your name, put your student ID, put the assignment name, okay, PA1, and your student and your friend, and then must upload every student. Now, no deadline yet, okay. This assignment, just talk to your friend and give the example of the data, information, knowledge, and wisdom in your daily life, but should be linked together, okay, linked together. You might talk about one situation with one scenario, but explain this is a data and become to the information, become to be the knowledge, become to be the wisdom, okay. What happened with the knowledge? Okay, the knowledge is about using the knowledge. That's not about consume. Okay, not just disappear. The knowledge happen is knowledge can transfer without losing. Okay, knowledge is abundance. Okay, but the ability to use is an art. Okay, it's difficult to use. When you use, it's about art. Much of an organization valuable knowledge walk out the door at the end of the day is about retire. Okay. So it means that should manage the knowledge. This is the reasons why we need to manage the knowledge. Okay. So this is about the first part of the knowledge, introduction to the knowledge management.